Daoism is a philosophical tradition that originated in China over 2,500 years ago, profoundly influencing the culture and spiritual landscape of East Asia. Fundamental to Daoism is the belief that everything that occurs in the universe is operated and animated by the Tao, translated as the path or the way. The Tao is the eternal and ineffable source from which all phenomena emerge, manifesting as the harmonious, forward-flowing nature of existence. Followers of Daoism seek to align their actions and thoughts with this perpetual flow of the Tao, culminating in a balanced, serene state of being. Central to this idea is the concept of WuWei, which can be translated as non-action, but more accurately can be understood as effortless action. WuWei involves aligning oneself with the natural rhythms of existence, resulting in a harmonious, detached mode of being. Consequently, we can attain heightened focus, clarity, and harmony within our thoughts and behaviors, guiding us toward a more balanced and fulfilling way of being. In this video, we will explore how the concept of WuWei can be attributed to contemporary life, allowing individuals to effortlessly adapt to any scenario with ease. Through the practice of WuWei, one can achieve inner peace and clarity, imbuing their actions with a harmonious spontaneity, free from the yearnings of the ego. Within nature, we can directly perceive a harmonious balance that unfolds effortlessly. Nature simply is, yet it achieves mastery in what it needs to do. When a tree grows towards the sun, it doesn't rush or force, it simply allows the natural processes to unfold within it and around it. Yet it is always exactly where it needs to be, firmly rooted in the present but aligned with the constant flow of existence. This is the idea at the core of WuWei. The core principles of WuWei, adaptability, spontaneity, and effortlessness, can be applicable in any context, regardless of external constraints. These principles can allow individuals to effectively and harmoniously respond to change from the roots of the present moment. Achieving effortless action requires a separation of the thinking mind from our physical actions, sometimes referred to as the flow state. This occurs when we are so deeply involved in a particular action or task that we cease to be consciously aware of what we are doing, resulting in heightened focus and productivity. For example, a skilled pianist does not consciously think about where their fingers should go with each note. Instead, they become one with the music, allowing the necessary actions to flow spontaneously from a state of present consciousness and pure awareness. The music emerges effortlessly from their present state, rather than through conscious, deliberate thought. The moment we become consciously aware of our actions, the mind disrupts the flow state and removes us from this heightened sense of focus. To cultivate mastery over our minds, we must discipline our focus to remain anchored in the present, resisting the pull of past or future projections. Through this practice, we can eventually come to understand and control the ruminations of the egoic mind and achieve a state of calm clarity in our actions. By detaching the egoic mind from our thoughts and subsequent actions, we remove negative blockers such as fear, frustration, and anger, allowing us to effortlessly overcome any situation and adapt to any environment. Bruce Lee famously applied this element of WuWei to the philosophy of his self-conceived martial art form, Jeet Kune Do. Be like water making its way through cracks. Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object and you shall find a way around or through it. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Bruce Lee's metaphor of water embodies the fundamentals of WuWei, illustrating how accepting and embracing change rather than resisting it can allow seamless adaptability to any scenario and a liberation from internal resistors such as fear and anger. In this free-flowing state of adaptability, we have the space to develop creative solutions to problems, and necessary action unfolds without hesitation or resistance. When life presents us with challenges, our instinctual emotional responses such as anger, frustration, or fear stem from an unconscious attempt to resist what is. However, by deeply accepting whatever scenario we are faced with, we cease resistance, removing the negative emotion and creating the internal serenity and clarity for rational processing and decisive action. True adaptability and acceptance in the context of WuWei requires a relinquishing of mental attachments to particular outcomes. WuWei encourages a detachment from the concepts of failure or success, resulting in states of fulfillment independent from external results. When we attach our entire sense of purpose to the outcome of a situation or action, our happiness or worth becomes contingent upon that outcome, rendering us slaves to a future potential. Furthermore, if our mind is grounded in a hypothetical outcome, we are being distracted from the harmonious rhythm and flow of effortless action. Through focusing on right action in the present and removing the mind's attachment to the outcome, our actions become imbued with focus and clarity. Consequently, the potential for mastery becomes effortless as we surrender to the harmonious flow of the universe. Bruce Lee again illustrated this idea within his philosophy of Jeet Kune Do. The great mistake is to anticipate the outcome of the engagement. You ought not to be thinking of whether it ends in victory or defeat. Let nature take its course and your tools will strike at the right moment. While playing a piece of music, a musician is not constantly thinking about how the last notes of the piece are going to sound, as this would distract and disrupt their flow. The end of the music arrives seamlessly from the uninterrupted flow of preceding notes, precisely when it should, as a result of their present moment focus. Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi encapsulated this idea in the following quote, which embodies the core of WuWei within the context of the all-encompassing Tao. Smash your form and body, spit out hearing and eyesight. Forget you are a thing among other things, and you may join in a great unity with the deep and boundless. By embracing the practice of WuWei, one can focus their energy towards acting effortlessly in the present moment and cease to be a slave to predetermined outcomes. Rather than resisting the natural flow of change, we can learn to adapt to it, gradually diminishing the striving of egoic control, leading to inner peace and resilience. Eventually, we can come to develop the capacity to react with a harmonious wisdom and rationality to any situation life may present us with.